What's happening, everybody? Cartez here, Move Abroad and Thrive. So, getting ready for this hurricane. It's projected to be pretty bad. It just went through Windward Islands, hit through there, the Category 4, and all the stations are projecting that it's going to be coming down through Merida or Yucatan Peninsula, is more precisely. People in the Facebook groups ranting and raving and talking about it's gonna be a direct hit on Merida, and then you got other folks in these groups going back and forth. Merida hadn't had a direct hit, and everything is just fear mongering, blah blah blah. Well, while they do all that, I'm just gonna prepare, recording baby, just gonna get prepared. Because it is hurricane season here, and they're talking about it's going to be a pretty active season this year. So might as well get prepared, just because just a couple of weeks ago, we got hit with some pretty severe rainfall, lots of flooding in the streets. Many of the streets really were impassable, and I'm talking about all over Merida, even in the areas where it's considered very developed. It was flooding everywhere. I mean, people out there, you can ride on kayaks and canoes, and water taking cars away, and I mean, it was bad. We almost got stuck out there in the water ourselves. So it got pretty bad. So that experience alone was enough for me to say, all right, preparation is just better than be prepared than not. And I think the rain was bad. It was bad. I think they said the amount of rain we got that one day was like a year's worth of rain. And so, like I say, just regular neighborhoods that normally don't experience flooding, and they had it bad, really bad. People's houses flooded. And like I say, folks went to their cars, and water was all in the car when they opened up the car door. It got pretty bad. So now, with all of that, I had somebody ask me, you still staying there because y'all just got through dealing with that heat wave, power outages back and forth, being out for a couple of days, and you still trying to stay there? I'm like, absolutely. I get frustrated, I complain sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's still a great place to be. The benefits outweigh the negatives, and all of these little things are little inconveniences that can be resolved. It's frustrating when you deal with them, but they can be resolved. For example, during the heat wave and during our power outages, there were 3 nights we went without power. For some reason, like every night at 5 p.m., the power went out and didn't come back on until the next day around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so we had to sleep through that. Spouse wanted to get a hotel. I'm like, man, we gonna deal with it. So from that, I learned, as we were driving through our neighborhoods, we saw people with these big giant generators in their driveway. And some of the generators had for rent signs on them that said, rent me. And so, out of an abundance of caution, today we reached out to some of those numbers just to get a price. And so one company is saying they'll come out for like 2,500 pesos and rent us their generator for 2,500 pesos for a week. There's an installation fee. I don't know what that costs. Pay probably 1,000 pesos, which is about $50-60. 2,500 pesos for the week is about maybe $140 right now at the current exchange rate, which I'll happily play that because that's cheaper than going to the hotel for a week. Fill that thing up and keep the power running. Maybe not running it 24 hours a day, but like I say, there's workarounds. And so now that I'm aware that we can rent one of these things as needed, that's a workaround. So I got some quotes going to make a decision on Wednesday on whether or not we're going to get it, because on Wednesday we'll have a more balanced approach or viewpoint on where this storm is actually going to hit. A lot of folks, of course, are saying that it's going to hit Cancun, and by the time it make its way here, it'll dissipate a lot. Would have dissipated significantly. Won't be necessarily hurricane force winds. Probably just a huge tropical storm with a lot of rain, which we saw what a lot of rain looked like a week ago, and some power outages. Sorry, I'll get a bad cold. So there's workarounds. So like I said, regardless to what come our way negative, there's a workaround. You get frustrated and then you figure out what's the solution. High electric bills, what's the solution? Getting solar panels on the house. That's your solution. You don't have to worry about seeing these unexpected high bills. Get solar panels, or find a house that you can rent with solar panels, or if you're buying a house, add solar panels. Robert, they're just finishing up on the remodeling of the house they bought. Probably gonna be moving in a couple of weeks, and they just had their solar panels installed. So that's the workaround. I'm in a house now where we rent that has solar panels, and my bill has never been over 75 pesos, which is like $3.50. And much of that is taxes. It's not even an energy bill. There's no bill. It's just the taxes and fees and government fees, 75 pesos every month, just like clockwork. So there's the workaround. So I'm also looking online pricing generators. I've started that process when, like I said, we started dealing with the power outages a couple of months ago, and now that the storm is coming, they talking about if it is a bad storm, we could be without power for a few days or a week or so. And so now it's like, all right, we'll be in Merida for a while, so do we just go ahead and break down and buy a generator? Doesn't matter whether we're renting or buying, the generator is something we can take with us. If it comes time to sell it, probably can get the bulk of my money back, but it's something that we can take with us. It's an investment to keep us comfortable. And from what I'm seeing online, they're not that terribly expensive. $500, $600. This installation guy, he was talking to us today, was like, yeah, we'll come out, we'll set it up, we can plug it up into your system where we can make the air conditioning unit work. Won't be using everything at full blast, but at least be able to have one air conditioning unit running in the living room where everybody's at, and have a couple of lights running, the refrigerator running, stuff like that. So, like I say, there's workarounds. So that's why I'm not too frustrated about some of these inconveniences. Now, I will say we had a bunch more mosquitoes popping up. In the past, folks would say, man, the mosquitoes bad. I would always say, no, I haven't had any bad experiences. But this particular rainy season, and when they tend to come out more during rainy season, and so this rainy season, oh yeah, I'm seeing them, I'm feeling them. Went and looked at a house the other day in Concau with a family, and the mosquitoes were out in full force. You walked through the door, it was a construction site, so it was undeveloped land. They had a couple of model houses out there, so we go through there right after a rainstorm, mind you, and you just see the mosquitoes all over the place. But again, you put some of this lotion on you and you ain't gonna have no problems. I do see more in my house now than I have ever seen. And when I say more, I'm not talking about like an abundance of them or swarm of them. These mosquitoes out here are fast. If you leave the door open for a second, they flying up in there. And it's hard to smack them down out the sky, out the air. You know, in the States, they move real slow. Well, at least the ones in Georgia, you can pop them. Here, these days be ducking that. Almost have to have some ninja moves be able to catch these mosquitoes out here. So again, right now, just getting prepared because I figure they say, again, a lot of these things you can avoid if you prepare. So Wednesday, I'll have a decision on whether we're going to rent this generator based on whether or not it's going to be as bad as they say it's going to be. If it's not going to be as bad, I may still rent the thing because the rainfall can still be an issue. Like I say, when you saw that rain from last week, it was bad. Power outages, you kind of stuck in the house for a while, and I might just rather err on the side of caution. And for 2,500 pesos, it ain't that bad. So, what are we doing to prepare? And just share. We live in Florida, so a lot of this stuff we're already familiar with. So I guess for those of y'all that are watching the video and you visit and you're already living here, some of these things might help you. Water. Make sure you have that extra water. Here we got those 5-gallon jugs, and we're going to add a few more to our inventory just to make sure we good. Again, it's possible we could be out of power for 5 days, and not just out of power, businesses could also be shut down. So if the electricity's out, it's going to be challenging to go get refilled water. The stores will be shut down. They can't run payments and stuff like that. So many stores may possibly be shut down due to flooding. So you gotta be ready for that. Then it might take a week. We kind of live further out, so we're like in that municipality where they're gonna take care of the largest cities first with the largest population of people before they get out to where we at. So that's one of the disadvantages of living further out. You tend to be the last one served. So make a mental note of that. In terms of where you wish to live, because there's some pros and cons. It don't happen every year, so it's not a big deal until it becomes a big deal. So make sure you have enough water to get you through. Fill your gas tank up again, because if things get shut down, the gas trucks ain't gonna be coming out to fill the stations up. There might be some delays in that happening. So might as well just top your car off and just have your gas in your car. And the gas, for those of y'all that got gas on your house, on your rooftop for cooking and for hot water in your house and stuff like that, might as well fill that up. We had the guy come out today, he filled the tank up. So, we got the gas stove, gas oven. At least with the gas stove, we can still cook even if the power's out. But you need gas. So we got the tank filled up with some gas. So try and get ahead of this now before the last minute, because everybody's waiting on Wednesday to find out what they're gonna do based on the path of the storm. You go in and get it done now, so you can be ahead of that, because if the news is bad on Wednesday, everybody's gonna be making a run on the stores and just gonna be a disaster. Probably run out of gas at the gas station, so get ahead of this thing now. Investigate some generator options. I've already talked about that long enough. Try and stock your refrigerator up. I was reading some comments and posts. Again, this is stuff from Florida. If your freezer is full and there's not a lot of space in between your freezer, in the freezer section, if the freezer's full, it will generally remain cool and the food will remain good and pretty much frozen. It would be good for 2 full days if the power went out. If the freezer's only half full, it might only last a day. So if your freezer ain't full, you put some empty water, put some water bottles in there, fill them up, and put them in the freezer to kind of fill up that space and close off those gaps and let it freeze so you can get that freezer area compacted. The same with the refrigerator as well. Fill those spaces up and try and keep those doors shut. Go out and buy a cooler and put some ice in that thing, and put the foods that you're gonna be reaching in and out more often, going in there grabbing stuff out a lot. Put it in the cooler so that way you can keep the refrigerator door shut. Because again, I know the freezer is 2 days. I believe the refrigerator might be 1 day. I'm not certain. Again, depends on how well you stock it and what kind of items you got in there. So, yeah, put some cold, frozen water bottles up in that refrigerator too. Um, Close those spaces up as well. Um, Buy extra food, non-perishable items, canned foods and stuff like that. Also get some fresh fruits, get some vegetables, get apples, oranges, stuff that you can just kind of eat on and snack on, and that's healthy for you, of course, and that doesn't require refrigeration. So we got some cans of beans, and they also have a lot of bags. They have these plastic bags with beans in them. So make sure you have a can opener or two, so in case one of them break. A lot of the canned beans here have a little ring on it that you peel off and pull off. So have that. They got some peanut butter and jelly, some bread, make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and just a variety of things just to have on hand, and some other non-perishable items as well. Also get some mosquito. I like using that mosquito lotion. I find it works best for me. I don't get bite. I don't get bit when I got that. Particularly if the power go out and stuff like that, and you have your windows open, you're gonna have more bugs coming into the house. So you want to have the mosquito repellent because you can still catch stuff from those mosquitoes, and it ain't pretty. So look at that. If you haven't got your medication, get some medication. Stock up on your medication. If your pet's on medication, get medications for your pets. Because again, it's possible stuff might be shut down for days. Pharmacy might not be able to get your stuff in. So better to get it early than waiting on everybody else to make a run on the store if the news goes south. You know what I mean? So get that extra medicine. We got ours yesterday. Stocked up on that, and so we're good. We're good on that. Pet food, of course. If you got pets, get some extra food for them, so that way they can make sure they got enough. Get some matches, personal hygiene items. It's important because again, if the stores are shut down, feminine products, toilet paper, hand sanitizer if you feel, have those things. To get them extra plastic bags and trash bags because the trash man might not be coming fast enough, and the roads might be flooded out. Get some extra trash bags so you can put all the tissues and feminine products into the bag and seal it off real good. They don't have to be worried about odors or attracting other bugs and stuff due to the stuff being open. Get some games, some books to read. Because if it powers out during the day, at least you can be able to read, have something to do. Some puzzles, some board games and stuff like that. I got a couple of puzzles, I think, in the house, so probably be occupied. Because I get bored. When we was up in this house 3 days with no power, it was nothing to do. And like I say, the other day the flooding was so horrible, you might not be able to get out. You might be stuck in the house or in your area for a couple of days and won't be able to get to the mall to hang out. And the malls might be shut down because nobody able to go to work because they can't make it to work. A lot of these employees live in these small towns way outside of Merida. They got to catch the bus into town to go to work. So a lot of businesses could potentially be closed based on this weather. Phone battery backups, make sure you have that. Charge your phones up, make sure everybody's phone is fully charged. Flashlights, candles, of course. First aid kit, can openers, etc., etc. So, like I say, this is no different than living in Florida. Millions of folks live in Florida. Millions of people live alongside the East Coast, right on the water where they deal with hurricanes. Because again, folks are saying, man, why you deal with all of that? All of those issues when you can go to other places that don't have those issues. Well, while them other places might not have these issues, they have their own issues. For example, places like Texas and Oklahoma, Tennessee, you coming through Tornado Alley, Tornado Valley, whatever they call it. You dealing with tornadoes for an extended time part of the year. Other places might deal with earthquakes. Other places, so we are in the area, when you're in the tropical, there's a potential to deal with hurricanes, and this is one of those things. At least with hurricanes, you get advanced warnings. Tornadoes, you get no warning. Earthquakes, you get no warnings. Even dengue is the CDC put out an alert in the United States for that. It's becoming an issue there. So it's an issue here, but it's also an issue there. So every place have their thing. Certain states in the states have mosquito issues as well. There's tarantulas in other parts of the states as well. You got rattlesnakes you deal with in other parts in the West. You got all kinds of things. I just I'm able to deal with the issues here and be fine with it. So, and I will say this while we're on this topic. If you're thinking about making a move abroad, make sure you do your research. And because again, every place have their own issues, or what some people may consider problems. And oftentimes people leave too early before they could find a solution that would have been workable for them, but they didn't have the patience to ride it out, to wait it out. They were so focused on what was happening and focused on the negative. So while I appreciate, while I, like I said, I complain about the heat, I'm human, but I'm learning to start complaining less. It really don't do anything. But as I complain, while I might complain, I'm still very grateful to be here, living the life that we get to live. It's been a blessing here. We love it. So do your research. Know what you're getting into. Don't be so quick to leave and just plan. Don't plan too long, because like I say, folks get this paralysis analysis. They spending 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years planning. Then we even left to come check the place out. It ain't all gonna be perfect. None of these places are gonna be perfect. Even first world developed countries are gonna have their issues, and they're gonna have their cracks in the wall as well. Every place is gonna have an issue. So keep a positive mindset. Come up with your plan, work your plan, know what you want. That's half the battle, knowing what you want. Knowing what you want. You want tropics, you want nice warm weather year round, because some people love hot. Do you want to be at the beach, or do you want to be in the mountainous regions where perhaps you like hiking and paragliding? If paragliding is your thing, it ain't gonna happen here. I need to be in a more mountainous region. So know what you want. Know what you want. Book a consultation if you like to talk on the phone. moveabroadandthrive.com/consultation. Also check out our VIP group. I'm looking at possibly going to a weekly style meetup online every week with our membership. You'll be able to come in, post, talk to me directly, ask questions. We do already have a section in there called Ask Cartes. You can post questions in there and ask me, and I'll respond to those. You can learn more about our VIP membership at moveabroadandthrive.com/VIP. So let me go get ready and continue preparing for this upcoming few days with this storm that's pending, and I will keep you posted.